Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is another edition of Fresh Forward. This is I don't know what episode number it is, but it's the next one. If you listened or watched the last one, so welcome everybody. We are your hosts, Liam and Colleen, coming to you recorded, not live. I was gonna say live. It feels live.
Mm,
We are live. We're recorded, obviously. But we are going to be taking a closer look at one of our features that we talked about in our last kind of our Fave 5 and 5, our big reveal. We're going to take a dive into the next big tool. What tool is that we're talking about? Well, we are talking about integrated knowledge checks in your Ultra LMS. This is part of release number 3900.100, and that came to us live in September 2024. In last episode we did a overview or a closer look at AI conversation.
that's right.
Just trying to remember what it is that we did. We've been
Mhm.
busy with videos
We
and
have.
kind of blurring all together. Anyways, so this week, this episode, we're talking about integrated knowledge checks, which I think is really exciting, right? We picked this one out. This was
Mhm.
our number one winner.
Number one. Yep.
hmm
Yep.
because we saw this as being really cool, but also directly applicable to probably most courses.
Yeah,
Just
I
saying.
would think so.
Very versatile new tool that we're going to be talking about. So let's talk about what that even means. Integrated knowledge checks is part of the content designer sort of umbrella of upgrades and release features that Anthology releases. It is so the content designer for documents now includes a knowledge check block. The knowledge check enhances the learning experience. Knowledge checks allow students to engage with content and receive immediate feedback, and instructors are also empowered with valuable insights to tailor their teaching strategies. Key features for this knowledge check is that it allows for multiple choice and multiple answer questions, not true falses, not open answers, but just multiple choices. Feedback it is pre-populated, but you can also edit that, and we're going to show you what that looks like in this video. Student interaction. So students can select an answer and submit it. They get immediate feedback on whether their answer is correct, and it also allows for unlimited attempts. As far as metrics go, so from an instructor point of view, you may find it interesting to know that it does allow for you to measure how many students have participated. You can also see the number of attempts on each knowledge check question. You have the average number of attempts to reach the correct answer, the maximum number of attempts to reach the correct answer. So everybody got it in at least three, or sorry, no more than this many attempts. Oh, I'm sorry. You're allowed to set the maximum number of attempts.
Right.
Represented them. And it also will show you it'll assess what the level of difficulty is for your questions. Oh, and percentage of students selecting each answer. So you'll be able to see that. All of this will make sense as we go through the demonstration, but we wanted to go through that information in case you like to be told it or read it off the screen. That's what you may want to know. We're going to jump into a demonstration here so you can see what this looks like. We've prepared an item here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that we can see this a bit clearer because I'm sharing off of a larger screen here. We have a document here. It's a summary of uh, um, a story, and this whole article talks about how it's tied to mythology and the hero archetype. We don't need to get into the ins and outs of that, but what we have here is some text. So the information here is in our Blackboard environment right here in a document. And I've already set up one example here. So this is what one of the knowledge checks looks like in action with activity already having happened here. You can see two students have done this knowledge check. That total of 5, the average was that they were getting it correct on their second attempt. the most was 3 attempts to get to the right answer. And so it's assessing it as a medium difficulty. And then you see down here, 0% were selecting the first option, 0 the second. 60% of the responses were this last one here. And then 40% were, or sorry, this one, the correct answer. And then 40% were selecting D. So we've got one already in here. I'm going to show you how to build it. Then we're going to show you what it looks like for students to participate in it. And then we're going to see how that transpires for instructors. Okay, so let me zoom out just a little bit and bear with me here because I just need to see a bit more on my screen. And it's okay, you don't really need to see the little itty bitty text here. We scroll down, and I think one important thing, Colleen, I was mentioning this before we jumped on the call, is I did this. Here's a block of text, here's an image, and then I created another block of text and another block of text with an image. And the reason for that was because I just wanted to make the layout look a little bit more interesting and show off what you can do with the design, the enhanced designer. But there was a nice benefit to that where it creates natural breaks where you can put these knowledge checks inside, not just at the end of your. So I'll show you how this works. Let's click edit content. You can see there's a block of text, there's a content block, there's a knowledge check, another content block, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to put one right here after these 2 paragraphs. So I've got a paragraph about Harlan and Lyra, or Lyra. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. To be honest, it was ChatGPT, so we're just going to say however we choose to say it is correct. So we're going to come here and click this plus icon. And just like we would normally have clicked content, right next to it, we have this knowledge check answer. Is that big enough, Colleen, or do you think I can zoom in?
Nope, I can see it.
All right, so I'm going to click knowledge check. And here are our options. We've got the question text, we have our options, we have our feedback, and then we can save. It also has the statistics here, but there's nothing here because this question hasn't been launched. So we're going to go into the question text, and you can type your questions here, but I have prepared one off screen. We're talking about Harlan, and we're talking about Princess Lyra. So here's my next question here is, I'm going to copy this, and we're going to paste this here. So which character serves as Lucan's mentor, teaching him about the essence? We've got 4 options here. Copy this. Bear with me. This is why it would be, we should learn how to do fast forward on these things. So you're not watching me.
Well, it's as if you're doing it yourself, though. That's the point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And I'll add one more option, and then we've got, copy this, and here we go. And this is the correct answer, so you need to click the check mark. You notice when I have 4 options, and I'm going down to save, it won't let me save because I haven't told it what the correct answer is. So check the box and hit save. Now, somebody might say, well, I'd really love to be able to do true falses. You can make a multiple choice question with only 2 options, make one option true, make the other option false, and there you go. You've got a true false question, but it's a multiple choice, and your choices are true or false. This is there is a single correct answer in there. If you wanted students to have multiple correct answers in a question, remember you can just do that with additional checkboxes. We've got the correct answer down here, and I'm going to demonstrate what that looks like to change this. So I'm going to copy again. I've got this prepared, paste that there. So if they get the correct answer, it kind of reinforces that. The incorrect answer might just say, please try again, or it might be a hint like try rereading this paragraph, or whatever, some way that you want to direct the students back to it. But they do get this feedback right away. So I would say giving them the correct answer as incorrect feedback would not necessarily be conducive to making sure that they're engaging with the reading. Because if they're getting it wrong and you're just going to give them the right answer, then what's the point in trying again? You're just going to get the right answer. So there we are. We've got a question. We have our options for the answers. We've selected our correct answer. You do see we can add more as well. I did that twice here. I added a couple extra options, and then the feedback, and I'm going to hit save. So there's my question sitting right here. I'm going to save this. Actually, you know what? Let's add another question. I'm going to do that again, click knowledge check, and let's go grab my next question. Copy this one. And instead of doing 4 options, I'm just going to do 2 here. Copy this one. And I'm going to copy this one. Copy this. There we are. Make this the correct answer. And let's do copy. There we are. And save. So we've put 2 questions in here for the students to engage in. Let's hit save. And now I'm going to try and find my way to my student preview. I think it's this one here. Nope. 1 second. All right, you know what? We're just gonna go into student preview and we'll use it from here. So let's hit student preview. Start the preview. Now this student has already done they've gone into this piece of content already and they've done the first knowledge check. You can see, oh yeah, I got that one right. And there's my feedback. So this is what it looks like for the student after they've done it. Here are the 2 questions that this student has not participated in. They've read the text. Now here's a question. Which character serves as Lucan's mentor, teaching him about the essence? Let's see, was it Ardo? Submit. That's incorrect. Please try again. So this is where that incorrect feedback would show up for your student. So I'm going to hit try again. And let's say, what about Valen? Nope, it's not that person either. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try, what about this guy, Ben Solara? Aha, correct. Ben Solara is the wise mentor who guides Lucan on his journey and teaches him about the mystical essence. Wonderful. So now I've moved on. And here's the next question. Okay, so what happens to Harlan's character? How does it change over the course of the story? Well, he softens and becomes a key ally. I think this sounds right. And let's go submit. And perfect. I got it right on my first try. So there we go. And now we continue along. Now you notice I could have just kind of scrolled on. There was no release of information here. That might be something that's coming along further. We'll see. Oh, Colleen, there's another idea exchange idea. Wouldn't it be great that if it just kind of like blurred out the content that was below until they got through, or have the option to kind of be in the middle of the screen, but not show all of the stuff. Anyways,
Okay.
it sounds like a good idea in my head. So I'm going to hit exit. I'm going to save this here. And I'm going to, now I'm in here as the instructor. I can go into that piece of content and I can look and I can see, oops, let me refresh this. There we are. So you can see now this is the first knowledge check that we built together, that the student selected Ardo and Valen and then Ben Solera. So 33% of the clicks were on option B, C, and D. Overall, 3 attempts, took 3 maximum attempts to get there. Here's the other one that I created, and you can see it's scaled that as medium. This one I got right on the first try. One student made 1 attempt, took 1 attempt to get to the right answer. So it's an easy question. Maybe you want them easy, or maybe it's not a matter of whether you want them easy or hard, but you want to be able to see were people able to follow the information and respond correctly. I'm going to take a little bit of a detour and see if this shows up in our gradebook. I don't think it does. If no, it does not show up in the gradebook. So that's that. Huh. Okay. Anything that I did not cover, Colleen? Do you think that's thorough? Did we miss anything?
Yep. No, I was interested in the metrics, but I love that it pops up right away. You go back in there and you check. It's actually part of it. You don't have to go to a separate tab. You don't have to look elsewhere. It's right there in the knowledge check.
Yeah, so you've got that. And the nice thing, you say that, like if this was coming up as a hard question, then I might eventually edit that content and change this material, so that I was like, oh, okay, that's not very clearly. So I'm going to tweak the content that's teaching it so that the knowledge check should, I guess, probably be medium to easy,
Mhm.
right? So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
they're just touch points, right? That's the whole
Hmm.
purpose of it.
Hmm.
And I love what you've done putting it in there, because I don't know how many times I have gone through and I've had this experience where you have to roll all the way to the bottom. You're looking at your knowledge check and
Hmm.
you're like, I can't remember. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna look at my content. You roll all the way back up to the top of the screen. I mean, it does
Hmm.
make it a lot more user friendly, and I like the
Hmm.
way it looks. Right? It just adds that little
Yeah,
bit.
just kind of
Bit of a it's
sprinkled
like a
in.
little break in the road, right? You need a little stop
Yes.
on the journey, and it works
Hmm.
really well.
Yeah,
Hmm,
awesome.
yeah.
And I think I'm not going to get too far into this in this video, but I was preparing for another one, and I suspect these knowledge checks are going to become part of release conditions. I think that that's going to come.
Oh, okay.
So stay tuned for that. Like that, at least that they've gotten them correct or something. I just think that that's coming. So not yet. So now I've put the pressure on it, but I do think that that's on its way.
Well, that would be nice.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yep.
So that wraps up this episode. This was all about the integrated knowledge checks, part of September 2024's release in Ultra LMS. Stay tuned. The next set of videos is going to be focusing on Ultra 102 and the goodies that come alongside that. So you don't want to miss those. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, don't forget, thanks for the reminder on the screen. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, if you found this helpful. Liking it helps your colleagues find it. Subscribing to it means that you'll be among the first to find out when there's new content, because we can't keep harassing you with announcements every time we make a video. So subscribe, and tell your friends to do the same.
Great.
Okay, that's it. All right, that's it. So we'll see you next time, folks. Have a wonderful weekend or whatever is coming up next. Take care, guys.